This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the town of North Haven.
Hi, good evening. I'd like to call the Board of Fire Commission meeting for Tuesday, October 28, 2025 to order. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Thank you all for being here this evening. I really appreciate it. I'd like to ask for the approval of the minutes of the Board of Fire Commission meeting, the special meeting held on September 16, 2025.
So moved.
Do I hear a second to the motion?
Second.
Any question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So opposed? So moved. Chief's report.
Good evening, all. I'll start with alarms as we normally do. Year-to-date 2024, 3,863 alarms. Year-to-date 2025, 3,799. Since our last commission meeting on September 16th, I'm going to report on a time period of September 16th to October 26th, which was a couple days ago. Since that time, we've had 17 different times in which we provided transport or ALS intercept, 23 incident responses to the highway, 158 incidents in which just an ambulance responded and there was no fire department resource dispatched, and then about 17% of overlapping calls, 37 occurrences accounting for 85 incidents. That covers our alarms regarding the current budget. We're through period 3, which is the end of September. We're at 25.9%. Still do not have updates on any of the income for this year. That would be the fire fees or the ALS billing fees. Have not been provided any numbers. The budget is being significantly impacted, though, by some staffing shortages. I'm going to go through several of them. We have 2 vacancies, which we've talked about in the past, which we are trying to fill. Continue with 1 member who has been out on injury leave since November 6th. Another member out on injury leave since July 22nd. Another out on injury leave since August 25th. 1 member out on injury leave since October 20th. We're expecting a return hopefully by the end of the month. Another member went out on October 20th for 30 days. We had 1 member out on leave of absence for about 3 weeks in October. And we've had another member out on sick leave from September 25th through November 3rd. We've been carrying a number of these vacancies. It has taken a significant impact on the contractual replacement staffing line in the budget. And there are a number of order-ins occurring on a daily basis within the fire department. That's what I have
Say
for
the last
budget.
part that you just said about
Number of order-ins, so people being told they have to stay and work on
order-ins.
Or
Okay.
order-ins.
Okay.
Yep. And that covers our budget. Regarding the fire marshal report, you were all provided a copy of the fire marshal report prior to this meeting. There's nothing really of significance there. The same things that are typically there at any given month. If you have any questions there, certainly let me know. And besides that, if you have no questions of me, I'm going to move forward to Deputy Chief of Operations report.
Just real quick, can you go back to the alarms year to date?
Yep.
What is our current year to date?
Current year, $37.99.
Oh, I thought that was last year. What was?
3863.
Yep,
Okay.
last year.
Okay. That was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Any questions of the chief on his report?
Move
Good
forward.
evening.
Yep. There you
Good
go,
evening,
Deputy.
Commissioners. I already handed out my report on the training for the department. In September, not including October, 163 individual training hours of drill time. That broke down to about 497 hours for the career members and 220 hours for the volunteer members. You can see the breakdown by category on there. The main focus for the career department was wellness checks, boating safety, and some new equipment that was delivered. I'll talk about the wellness checks first. As you know, we lost one of our firefighters off duty back in August, and that hit the department pretty hard. So trying to take care of the members and be appreciative of what they're going through and stuff, we kind of did a stand down on things to slow things down, let everybody kind of reevaluate their situation and get organized. And working with Deputy Chief Naples and also Chief Januszewski, talk to some outside sources, and we've mentioned that before. So it's been a process of going through, and part of that healing process is then building back up into getting into normal again. So you can see some of the other things that we did there. We did take delivery of a new rescue craft. It's called an RDC. If you flip the paper over, you'll see a picture of it. This is an inflatable rescue boat. It's designed for ice, snow, water, mud rescues. It's people powered. You paddle it or you walk in it. It's open on both ends. So if we have to go into the salt marsh, if we have flooded streets, it's very easy to go get somebody out. And it's self-righting. So if there is some swift water going on, like a low head dam or something, it's a very safe platform. It's also extremely small. It'll fit on the apparatus, and it fills off of one of our SCBA valves in about 2 minutes. So it's very quick to deploy, hence the name, and it gets us out there relatively quickly. As far as the volunteers, we've been focusing on really the basics. Handline deployment, ground ladder deployment. We used our training center. We put some smoke inside there. We're doing search and rescue training with them. So you can see some of the pictures there. And the final thing is we are moving along with the training grounds. We had hoped to be paved already. We are now hoping to be paved tomorrow, and that'll get us back in operation up at the school as far as being able to bring equipment up there and using the facility. That's pretty much it, unless you have any questions for me.
Any questions for the DEP?
Real quick on that craft you're looking at a picture of, I think it's important. Many people don't realize how inaccessible the Quinnipiac River is, how tidal it is, first of all, and how inaccessible it is in so many parts of it. We can't get there with our boat. We can get so far, depending on the tide, but then after that, it is just too shallow for any of the watercraft that we have to be able to get in there, and quite honestly, almost any watercraft to get up there. And so there's large parts of the river that we have to get to that we haven't previously had a way of doing so, and this will go a long ways towards doing that.
So this is on one apparatus?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, okay.
It's also the high tide that creates a problem. So from about mid-tide up, we can't get under the Sackett Point Bridge because the water level's too high. So anything that happens north of that, we were challenged. You don't have boat launches up there. So this is a people pick it up, walk with it, fill it up right next to it. It's very capable.
So you pretty much could get into the river pretty much anywhere?
Yes.
Along the bank?
Yep.
Good.
Was this in response to an incident that happened, or is it just
Not particularly.
precautionary?
It's an ongoing needs assessment that we do pretty regularly. We've had some change in our boat a couple of years ago, and what we went with, while it has some advantages, we can get out into some more open water, some more shallow water. Our previous boat had a short shaft engine on it, but it couldn't get us up on plane very well either and get us at any kind of speed. And so we seem to have the best of both worlds right now with what we have.
Good.
Chief, as far as the wellness and check and fitness is concerned, is that exercise measured or timed or
It's the whole package.
Okay.
It's, worrying about mental health, checking on each other, trying to give people, let them know what the options are for outside help if they need something like that, encouraging the on-duty stuff, team building activities, peer support. We've brought outside people in from other firefighters and other emergency responders from other departments. We've talked to professionals that have come in too, and just making people available to go that way.
Good. Thank you. If there's no further questions of Deputy Chief Naples?
Good evening, Commissioner, and thank you again. My report was handed out prior to me sitting down. It's all in front of you. I'd like to quickly go over our apparatus and our fleet management. Engine 3 and Engine 5 were both brought over to New England, and they were given their preventative maintenance as well as their pump tests and DOTs with some small minor repairs. They were out for an average of a week to 2 weeks. We had a small repair on our gator with a front tire. One of the big things that we will be discussing is Truck 2. So currently Truck 2 and Engine 6 are out of service. Engine 6 is there for a water pump and a front tire replacement. That should be back in service by Friday. But Truck 2 has been out since August 2nd. That was sent from New England as it was towed there from Nelcon as it broke down on the road from a outside job that we were able to provide services to a fallen firefighter up north. And when it got to New England, they recognized the fact that they didn't have the capability of repairing the engine. It was beyond their capability. They sent it up to H.O. Penn, which is in Newington. A couple pages deeper in the report that I provided you with is just a quick summary of Truck 2. Just want to go over this with you because this is a large repair. So Truck 2 is a 2008 Ferrara. It's one of our aerials. It's a 100-foot straight stick. And it was purchased by the town of North Haven in 2020. And since that date, it has obviously come with a large, cost for the repairs. And as you can see there, we've already spent about $106,000 repairing some of the necessary items. One of the bigger ones that you'll see is a $63,000 repair in 2022. And that was, again, for an engine repair. So currently, we had received information from H.O. Penn that there needs to be a complete rebuild of the motor itself. This is a Caterpillar motor, and they do have the capability of fixing this there. As you can see, the repair itself is estimated to be $92,000, along with some other ancillary costs that will come with this. You're looking at over a final of $100,000 to invest into this apparatus. Which was brought to the finance director as well as First Selectman Frida for some, further, information on where we're going to proceed with this. And I'm going to allow the chief to kind of elaborate a little bit more on that in regards to some apparatus that we have coming as well. But this is my report on Truck 2 and where we stand with that apparatus. I can answer some questions afterwards. I just want to quickly go through the rest of my report. Currently, we're glad to see that there is no fire hydrants out of service. We just had one repaired that was a minor. Recently, we had top rung hose and ladder testing come in. They completed today. So we had all of our ground ladders and our hoses tested. And we had a tremendous month of October for our fire safety and prevention. We were out in the community and we had a tremendous impact in multiple platforms. One of them was on Saturday the 18th. I want to thank Luke Capola, who's here today, and CERT. They were a great part of that event. We had a wonderful turnout. I know one of our, Commissioner Brown, was there as well to see the day unfold itself. So we're looking forward to obviously more of that coming up. We are partnering with the library and doing a fall safety in November at the Senior Center.
Thank you, Deb. Many thanks to the CERT team. Lou, I appreciate your guidance there. And send our congratulations and thank you to the team, please. Yeah. Chief, did you want to comment on Truck 2?
With your permission, I can cover that in deeper detail under good of the department
Okay.
for state of apparatus.
Okay.
Without getting into it now, if you wouldn't mind, we can conclude the chief's report.
That'd be fine. That'd be fine. Deb, anything else?
None unless you have any questions for
Any
me.
questions of Deputy Chief Naples regarding his report? Hearing none. Any further questions of the chief regarding the chief's report? You good?
I'm good.
All right. Let's move forward, Chief, to the correspondence.
Correspondence, other than the routine day-to-day correspondence, I have nothing of interest to bring to the commission.
Have any commissioners received any verbal or written communications?
I have not.
Old business of the department.
Mr. Chairman, I have no old business or new business, just a couple of items under good of the department.
All right, let's go right to the good of the department.
Well, can we back up for a second?
Yeah, certainly.
I had a couple of quick questions under, I don't know if probably old business, but one might be new business. The old, we had gone over before how many paramedics we still have in the department. Can we get an update on?
Sure,
Where
I
we
can have that
stand.
for you for next meeting. Get
Okay.
that for you.
And then the other thing is, in the Board of Finance, they set their dates for the upcoming workshops. So will we get to see what's gonna go over to the Finance Department next month as well?
Yeah, I don't anticipate any changes from what we've done in the past, so I don't have those dates yet. I don't anticipate any changes. We're probably gonna get stuck with the Saturday in January again. But no, I don't have any dates yet, but I would expect by the November meeting, I'll be able to provide you with what we're looking at for the budget.
Okay, all right, great.
Any other questions?
That was it.
All right, very good. Good of the department.
So good to the department, Just wanted to give a quick update on Northeast. The remodeling there is continuing. It's looking better and better. The bathroom downstairs is nearly complete. The plumbing upstairs is nearly complete. We've got some technology left to do to the station once we're done with everything. But we should have that station fully operational very soon. In the meantime, the volunteers are making very good use of it, and it has certainly enlightened them to have a resurgence of energy in that station. They have a place to congregate and relax and be firemen, quite honestly. Regarding hiring, so I am going to attempt to hire 2 firefighters over the next month, and so the commission should just be watching out for some meetings. I won't have anything for you probably until December, but just keep in mind that we will have to meet a couple of times. I hope if we have some candidates to consider for hiring, my hope is to have them hired during the first week of January, and the academy starts in February. We have 2 vacancies to fill at this time. We'll continue to use the Connecticut Consortium list for our hiring, a combination of that and internal lists for volunteers if there's any available. We did put something out for laterals, and we did not have a very good turnout for lateral applications, which is pretty consistent with what we've seen in the past as well. The one item I know we're going to spend a little bit of time on is the state of the apparatus, which is what we normally cover at this point. And as you know, you heard Deputy Chief Naples report on the status of Truck 2. It's been on the service for some time. Just keep in mind that was purchased, I want to say 2017, 2018. It is a 2008. It was a used apparatus when we bought it. The intent of that apparatus was to serve as our second aerial, so it could be a reserve when the main aerial truck that we have in town would have to go out for extended periods of time, and it served in that capacity quite well, in fact. But it is a used apparatus. We're third owners of it, essentially. It was serving a department in Texas for a period of time. Then it went to an oil field in Ohio, and then that's where I flew to, was an oil field in Ohio, and we purchased it there after traveling with a mechanic to kind of go through it all. But it was never intended to last a very long period of time. It was intended to get us through a bind. So as you know, we've had an order placed since 2023 for a smaller ladder, so that we have 2 variations of ladders in town. We don't necessarily need a large ladder again, but we need another aerial truck, as we've had now, and an engine. The engine was due to replace another engine that is 25 years old, and the smaller ladder truck, you're going to hear me refer to it as a Quint, only because it has both an engine and a small ladder on it. It was intended to replace the truck, which we're talking about right now, which is out of service. Those apparatus were ordered in 2023, and we've been talking about it for some period of time. I've since learned that the Quint is going to be ready over the next couple of months. We've had staff. I want to make sure I really highlight this. We've had our own career firefighters who have been building our apparatus for a long period of time, and they do a tremendous job at it. We're not on the apparatus. We don't ride on the apparatus, but our firefighters do. And so allowing them to spec it out, with our oversight, and go out to the manufacturer and look at it as it's being built and work with the manufacturer, not only is it a huge time saver for us, but it's a huge morale builder for them. And for since I've been chief, I haven't managed a purchase yet in terms of the hands-on aspect of it, just the oversight of it. And so our members have put a lot of time into building, once again, this Quint and this engine. Unfortunately, what I'm learning now is there might be some concern with how the town is going to be able to purchase these apparatus. And so I'm kind of waiting to see from the first selectman and the finance director what the next move is going to be. So,
But can you explain
More to
that
come.
more, like, if they were ordered in 2023, but now there's concern that what?
there's concern that there's no finances in place to purchase them right now.
I thought they were putting monies aside on an annual basis for the purchase of these apparatus. Is that not in fact true?
That is not. So what had happened was the 2 engines that we had ordered, they were a couple years late coming to us. And so the town was putting money aside to go towards the purchase of these two engines that we just took delivery of within the last 18 months, 2 years, because they were about 2 years late getting to us. But out of the last 5 years that we should have been paying for those apparatus, we only put money aside for 2 of those 5 years. And so now we're at that period of time where we're overlapping between what we already owe on the engines because we didn't put money aside for 3 or 4 years. And now we're backed up against the delivery of this next one and then hopefully the engine a year from now. They were ordered in 2023 for the sheer fact that we were able to look into the future and see that the cost coming out of COVID was going up tremendously high, and that the lead time to be able to have these apparatus delivered was going to be a significant amount of time, 3 to 4 years for each. And we're there. And I'd like to thank the first selectman for his foresight in being able to make that order, but now it sounds like there might be an issue with actually coming up with the funds to do that. It is worth noting that moving into this fiscal year that we're in right now, I had asked what we're going to do about purchasing this apparatus and putting money aside, and I was told not to worry about it for this year. We're going to hope that it gets delayed another year. It did not get delayed. It's going to be delivered now.
So, I'm sorry, I'm
No, go ahead.
a little stumped here
Yeah,
because I don't know if they ordered it, they have to pay for it, right?
Well, it was an order that was signed by the first selectman,
Correct.
so he authorized the building and purchase of this. And we knew what the price was, and we knew that there was a delivery date of 3 to 5 years or 3 to 4
Correct.
years.
Yep.
And here we are now at the 3rd year, and it's gonna get delivered. And so now, there's gotta be a penalty if we don't take delivery of an apparatus that we ordered. And it was it's supposed to replace this ladder truck that is now in the shop that we already put 60,000 in and needs another 100,000.
Correct. Yep. That's kind of, there's two pressing matters here. The first is
Yeah.
our existing aerial truck.
Yeah.
Although it's our reserve, our second aerial truck, it served us well and it has a huge purpose for the department. It's currently out of service. It has been for a couple of months.
Is this
And it needs $100,000 in repairs.
is this the ladder truck that was hit?
No.
Okay, and so actually the previous cost, I just wanna make sure, you said 60, but it's 106, right?
That is correct.
So we've already spent $106,000 on it
Since we've had it, yeah.
since we've had it.
And there's another 101,500 that's
Due.
due.
Right.
If we go ahead with the repair of the engine and whatever incidental.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
Parts.
I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to do the repairs
Right.
on it if we are expecting a new one soon, but we need to have a way of funding the new one.
Is that the one that is gonna be delivered, is that all spec'd out for us?
They both are. Yeah, every apparatus that we order is always spec'd out for
Well, our
us.
firefighters did that, right? I mean, they spec'd it out and they went down, what state is,
It depends on, it's either Pennsylvania or Ohio. I
yeah,
believe.
so they've flown down there to take a look at it and to speak to the folks who are putting it together to make sure that it meets the criteria that they've established. So, I mean, I know we talked about bonding previously, about apparatus, and my understanding is that, with an apparatus, and obviously we've got apparatus that are ready to be retired, that are 25 years old. So, my understanding is that bonding is for that type of purchase that the equipment will last you 20, 25 years. And I don't know how long the bonding is for, 17, 18 years or
Yeah.
what have you. It would make sense to me not to spend the money on
Well,
the other ladder truck.
it doesn't make any sense.
No.
This truck will be 18 years old.
Right,
in
exactly.
2026, so, I
Right.
mean,
And then we have the other truck that's 25 years old already. So, I mean, has the discussion taken place regarding bonding?
It has, and so I was asked to provide a list of towns that bond for apparatus, and the comprehensive list I provided back. There were dozens of towns that purchase apparatus through bonding. And if there's not a bonding package put together, then it is funded for through the debt service line. What this town has always done is, if you go back in time prior to me being chief, we purchased apparatus with a fund balance at the end of the year in the high school auditorium by a raise of hands. Right? That's how this town purchased fire apparatus in past budgets, quite honestly, for a very long time. There was never a bonding package put together because the town was rather flush with cash at the end of every year, and that's how we would buy apparatus. In fact, one year we bought 2 apparatus, which is why we had 2 of them that we were forced to have to replace at one time. Moving forward, what the town started to do when I became chief was they started they kept saying lease, but it's not a lease. We own the apparatus, but they started to finance it through capital. And so every year there was several $100,000 committed through capital towards the purchase of, in one particular case, it was an engine. I think then it went to the ladder truck that we have now, our main ladder truck, and now more recently to the 2 engines that were delivered a couple of years ago. I still don't know that was a way to do it, because what it did was it created a capital funding obligation every year, financed over a 5-year period, so it was a high number. These apparatus are built to last 25 years. The standard for the NFPA Center for Fire Apparatus, they've been in service for 20 years. They then move to a reserve role, and they stay in service until they're 25 years old. And so we're looking at apparatus, which we're purchasing, and because our members are speccing them out and they're building them, they're going to last that long. We're going to take care of them. So I don't know why the bonding package has never been considered. I'm hopeful that it is something that's considered, and I continue to advocate for it.
So there were 2 years where there was an amount of money allocated for an apparatus, $300,000 each year.
So over the last 5 years, there were in fact 2 years which you can go back in capital,
Yes.
and you can see that there was money put aside for the purchase of these 2 engines. One of those years, which was a couple of years ago, I don't know that the money truly went towards the engines or if it went towards something else to balance the budget, because the engines weren't ready yet. And so there was some discussion about using the money for something else because the engines weren't ready anyways. I asked the first selectman and finance director last week where that money went, and they just didn't. When I say didn't know, they didn't know at that meeting. I'm sure they know. They just didn't know at the time of the meeting. And so they're going to go back and they're going to look to see if we are truly in year 1 in this current fiscal year of having just put the first $300,000 aside, or if we are in year 2. And that's just something that we didn't have at that time of the meeting.
Well, these things that you sent out to us, Mike Frieda okayed the purchase.
Correct.
Well, yeah, he signed
He signed
signed
it.
the agreement.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't,
It says we will be purchasing these.
So if you remember, we talked about this a couple of months ago, and not only are we looking at truck 2 requiring a significant number of repairs, and Commissioner Brown, just so that you know, it was 23-24 fiscal year that we put $300,000 aside, and I don't know where it went. I don't know if it went towards this apparatus or not. But in 21-22, there was no money put aside, and there should have been. In 22-23, there was no money put aside. 23-24, there was $300,000. And last year, 24-25, there was no money put aside. In our current fiscal year, 25-26, there was $300,000. So if we had put money aside every year, then we would be caught up with the current 2 engines we have now and be rolling right into these next 2. But I did pass this out a meeting or 2 ago from our sales rep talking about how much this apparatus has gone up, at least 5% a year since we've ordered it. The town, by placing this order back in 2023, as of the writing of this email in April of 2025, had saved approximately $310,000.
And that was part of the discussion that we had with Mike Frieda, our first selectman, to make the commitment in 2023 in order to save on the additional cost that we knew was going to be increased, because we had that discussion at the time of when we were inquiring about the purchase of these 2 apparatus. And I think the salesperson did estimate around a 5% per year increase. So so I think certainly Mike was very astute to sign and agree to this and to save the town the $300,000. If we went ahead and looked to agree to do that today, it would the purchase would be $300,000 more and than what it was.
Correct.
So I think he was very astute and he's a great business guy. But to think that we would potentially not take delivery of the apparatus when we have the apparatus that we spoke about, truck 2, needing another $100,000 after we spend over 60 or whatever that number was. And we have a 25-year-old apparatus that should have been retired is really not, in my opinion, safe to be on the road. I mean, we try and keep it up, and thank you, Chief Naples, for doing all the things that we needed to do to keep it roadworthy. But it's still a 25-year-old apparatus. It doesn't have all of the safety precautions that our firefighters deserve to have while they enter that piece of apparatus on an emergency basis, going to a fire scene or an accident scene. So, when are we going to receive the word from the finance director or from Mike Frieda regarding this as to what direction we're going in?
Well, I'm still stuck on, you ordered something, you signed an agreement, and how you can renege on the agreement because you don't think you have the money now. It seems like there needs to be an explanation and what is the recourse to it, because Mr. Frieda speaks all the time about the town and its ratings and things like that. When you go back on a contract for something that you purchased that's as expensive as this is, and that's as customized as it is, I don't think that's going to reflect very well on the town. And certainly it's not meeting the needs of the fire department. So I'm just, what is our, what do we do about that?
Yeah, I'm
All
curious
under-
as to the legal repercussions on a contract that's not being fulfilled. It doesn't look like there's some sort of damages clause on it. So
I don't see the penalties here
I
either.
don't know if there's penalties, but is there a deposit that's going to be lost or some sort of thing that you might know of that'll cost money with no actual
benefit.
gain or the benefit?
Yeah, I can't speak to that. I know that the finance director had asked for a copy of these contracts yesterday, and I provided it to him, but I have not had a further conversation with him or the manufacturer. I'm hoping that if there's conversations taking place, that I'm part of it with the manufacturer, but that didn't happen yesterday or today.
On a practical sense, how long would it take to fix truck 2?
So truck 2 right now is looking at, if we did, move forward with these repairs, it would be about a month to 2 months just to repair the apparatus, and that would only include a 12-month warranty with that repair as well.
2 months. Wow. 2-month warranty,
No, 2-month repair,
2-month repair.
12-month warranty
12-month
from
warranty.
on receiving of the apparatus.
And what operational limitations does that, how does that affect operations with the missing truck?
So we dispatch a second ladder truck right now to target hazards in town. So think about all your multi-story buildings in town. Anytime any incident comes in at those buildings, we're dispatching 2 ladder trucks because in the event that there is a fire, you need to make sure those ladder trucks are there first before there's hose that starts to get laid out on the ground and we inhibit egress and access. And so we're not able to dispatch the 2 ladder trucks to the scene because we don't have 2 ladder trucks in service right now. The other thing is the main ladder has maintenance requests, has maintenance needs, right? These things, unfortunately, I can't do anything about it. None of us can. They are maintenance-heavy apparatus. They require a lot of time, and we don't have our own mechanic in this town, and so we send it out, and then sometimes we have to wait in line to get chosen to get serviced. There's nothing we can do about that. So we've had periods of time since this truck's been out of service, truck 2, that we've had to send our main ladder out of service, and we have no aerial truck in town. We have to rely on mutual aid partners in order to provide a ladder truck, and that takes time to get there. And again, if you look at how long that's going to take, that can have an operational deficit to us. There's also ground ladders on a truck that we can't carry in engines. They're too small. So there's 45 and 35-foot ladders on trucks that we need. If we can't get the main ladder that you see on the back of it to a window, we need to get to an alley. We need to put a ladder up. These ladder trucks are the only ones that carry ladders that are that big.
Well, this is really disturbing.
Well,
to
I
say
want to
the
make
least.
sure that the commission's aware. There's
Yeah.
been no decision made yet.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
aware
no,
of.
no, I understand that. I'm hopeful, and I'll speak on behalf of our commission here. I'm hopeful that the first selectman, honors the contracts, and if the town hasn't budgeted the monies for the purchase of these two apparatus, I'm hopeful that. And I think the requirement would be to call a town meeting for a budget, for a bonding requirement. Is that correct, Chief?
Not sure the technicalities of the bonding,
Yeah.
because we haven't bonded for fire apparatus before, but that sounds about right. And of course, I would advocate for the bonding of the apparatus for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, I know that there was a proposal to bond for, I'm not sure if it was the trash trucks or trash cans or something.
Yes,
Or what was that?
I was at that meeting.
What was that, Jen?
Yes.
It was it was for the garbage cans that would go in every house that the trucks could lift up and dump.
And what was that bond amount? You
I don't remember, but that one they didn't actually vote on that.
It's been
That
tabled.
bond got tabled, or that request, but there were 5 bonds during that meeting. There was one that had to do with repairs and things to town hall and some other buildings, and then there was Sackett Point Bridge. There were a bunch of things, and they just held that in town hall, so.
Okay. So it wasn't a town meeting, well, it was probably a town meeting
It
in
was
the
a
hall.
town meeting in
Got it.
town hall.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it. So, obviously, the town has been bonding for particular purchases or repairs, and
Was
I'm
the first
hopeful.
rescue, when we added the first rescue, was that, I feel like I went to a town meeting on that as well. Was that a?
I think that was a
bonded?
purchase.
I think that was an emergency.
Yeah, it was an emergency purchase.
No, when Janet was first selectman and they actually started the paramedic program, I'm pretty sure I had to go to town. They had a meeting in the high school and we voted whether to actually.
I don't remember what the purpose of that meeting was. I think it was a regular budget meeting, if I remember right.
And maybe it was discussed.
Yeah.
I kind of recall that as well, but I
I
can't.
think we had to vote on that separately,
It's
from what I
possible.
remember.
Yeah.
It's possible. Well, I'm glad to hear you say that a decision has not been made. And thank you for bringing this to our attention, because it's certainly disturbing for us. And we would encourage the first selectman to, if these monies are certainly not in the budget, which my expectation is they're not, the only other way that we're gonna be able to do this is to bond for it, in my mind. And if I owned a 2028 vehicle that I already spent $100,000 on and needs another $100,000 of repairs, I'm not sure I would put good money into that apparatus. I have to say the truth. So I personally wouldn't look to repair that, 2028 apparatus after it's been owned by three different folks or companies. I would be hopeful that they continue to work toward the purchase of the 2 new apparatus that we planned on. Hope Mike uses his business sense to try and find a way to make this happen.
There is a contingency fund in the budget of 300,000, so that certainly would cover repairs.
If-
For,
That's if you were gonna repair the
well,
the
yes,
18-year-old.
Yeah,
I mean, the
Well-
thing is, it only has 2 years. If you put $100,000 into it, you're still only gonna get 2 years out of it.
Well,
if.
the standard says 20 years and then 5 years in reserve, but we have apparatus now that exceed that, which is why we're trying to replace it with another engine here.
Right.
Because we shouldn't be exceeding those standards for all the reasons that were said before.
so it's difficult to understand how a contract could be signed in 2023. The total cost is 3 million, and there's no plan to have the funding available when the vehicles are.
Has the Board of Finance had any discussion about this? I mean, I don't recall during any Board of Finance meetings
I don't remember them speaking about
Having
it. I
any-
don't go to every single Board of Finance meeting, but I've been to a lot of them, and I just don't remember them talking about this.
Well, I would imagine that this would have been on their radar when we were talking about the purchase price of two apparatus, one for, $1.7 million and the other one for $1.2 million. I would imagine that the Board of Finance would have been looking at this and preparing as far as the financial management in order for us to underwrite the cost of this. I mean, they knew that Mike had signed the agreement. It was publicized, and we've been talking about it for 3 years now. And, it's coming. And, where are we with it? And now that it's upon us, we're looking to find a way to pay for it.
So the finance department didn't have copies of the contracts? You
I'm
just
not
did.
sure, maybe it was just for expediency that I had it available, I don't know, yeah.
It's just that they're preparing this truck for us
Mhm.
because of this.
Right, I
Doesn't-
understand.
It just doesn't
Yeah.
seem right that,
Well,
Tried building it into my budget this year, as I had said, and there was no desire to do so. So we've been trying to plan on this for quite some time.
Well, we've been talking about your budgets for the last number of years, and the 300,000 was
Sure.
included in your proposal and
Sure.
talked about during the workshop.
Well, correct.
Or it was not during the workshop, it was submitted and then excluded.
Well, we had talked about, I've been advocating for bonding for apparatus long before this. I've been advocating for bonding for apparatus for a number of years now because I don't think that we should be taking money out of capital every year and putting it towards large purchase. You're making an obligation in future budget years that you may not have the budget to approve. You may not have the dollars to approve when you try to finance a large sum over a 5-year period versus a 17-year period. That's a big difference, and there's a reason why it comes out of the debt service line in most other towns.
So you were asked to do an evaluation as to other municipalities and what their purchasing of apparatus, what their process is. The majority of them,
Bond,
they bond.
yes, overwhelmingly the majority. In fact, I couldn't find one that does it like us.
All right. Really disturbing, to say the least.
Right.
Really disturbing. Look, and I'm pleased to hear that they haven't made a decision as to, not moving forward with this. But hopefully, with Mike's business skill and expertise, he looks at this and finds a way to make this happen. Obviously, for the best interest of the residents of the town, and the need of the fire department as far as apparatus is concerned. We've articulated the need. We have the equipment that is antiquated and ready for retirement, and or needs significant repair to an old apparatus. It just makes business sense to me, and so I'm hopeful that Mike Frieden and the finance office comes to the conclusion to look to bond for this.
I will keep the commission apprised of what's going on.
Is there a way for the commission to communicate directly with Mr.
Look,
Frieda
I have
that
no-
we recommend that that we use the bonding process? And that, given the fact that there's already a contract for these, that would make the most sense?
I have no difficulty picking up the phone
Okay.
and calling tomorrow.
That would be great.
To voice the opinion of, I'm assuming this is it's the unanimous decision of this commission, that
Yes.
we want to move forward with this, or like to move forward with it, and to ask that, a bonding package be put together in
Yeah.
order to underwrite the cost of it. I will be happy to do that tomorrow.
maybe you could remind him that he did sign it.
I'm sorry?
You could remind him that he did sign it.
Well, it's quite obvious. Excuse me.
I have nothing further for good of the department.
I think that's enough. Holy moly. That's a shocker. Any other questions for the good of the department to the chief?
Just one quick question about the volunteer houses and the hours? Are we still at the same 7 to 3?
With some
7 to 5?
variation. Yeah, there's some evenings, there's some weekends, but consistently, always 7 to 3 or 7 to 5, depending on the company, with some variations. Again, they're doing the best they can. I don't want
Yeah.
to call one out over the other, but they're collectively doing the best they can.
Yeah, no, I recognize that. I was just wondering. Okay.
Have we lost any volunteers, Chief?
We have.
How many have we lost?
Let me take a look here. Our current numbers right now. I'm at 8 members in West Ridge with 2 on probation and 7 members in Northeast with 5 on probation.
So it would be 8 plus the 7?
Of certified firefighters, yeah.
Yeah, okay, probation.
Yeah, 15.
Okay,
15.
thank you.
The 7 probation that we have, it's usually a safe bet to say that half will make it into, interior ranks. Whether they pass their class, they find that it's what they thought it was going to be, any number of reasons.
And out of the 15, 20, 25, 27, are there many that are close to retirement age?
Yeah, there's a few anyways. Yeah, there's at least 3 to 4.
And those are in the leadership role?
Typically, yes.
And have any of the persons who are not in leadership roles voiced interest in doing so?
It's ongoing conversations we have, yeah. Yep.
2 more just quick questions on this. So there are 15 right now volunteers that are
Certified.
In terms of drivers, are they all 15 of them?
No, not necessarily. No, we don't. I personally don't want some of these individuals that are still on the young side to be driving apparatus. They need more time. But we offer driving classes and qualification classes when we feel that they're ready.
Okay. And do you have any idea about how many out of the 15 actually drive?
Probably 8 to 10.
Okay.
So your point, Jen, is
Well, it's just
when they show up,
if you don't have a driver,
is there
then
a
you-
driver?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So Deb, how often does that occur when we get an alarm and we call out, the volunteers to show up? I mean, is there always a driver that shows up?
When they go in service, they're working very hard to make sure that they do have a driver available that can take the truck out. And that's, as the chief mentioned, there's been a couple weekend nights, a couple weekday nights with other things going on that they don't have a driver, they don't put themselves in service. So when we track that on our boards, we know when we have equipment in service.
Okay.
Okay. Did that answer your
Yeah.
question, Jen? Anything else for the good of the department? Public comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to move into executive session.
So moved.
There a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. I'd like to reconvene the Tuesday, October 28th, 2025 North Haven Fire Commission meeting to order. Is there any further business coming before this commission? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. This meeting's adjourned. Thank you for your time.
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.